everyone. Okay, so I found my books for tonight through sort of a circuitous process. First, I found out about a series of books called I Survived, which are published currently and sold by Scholastic. And they are about a young male protagonist who survives, like, the San Francisco earthquake and the Nazi invasion of Poland. And on the back of that one it says, does he have what it takes? Because it was a matter of merit. Right? As a young Jewish boy during the Nazi occupation of the Warsaw Ghetto. So that's awfully tricky. And it turns out there's also an I Survived the Attacks of September 11th. Oh, right. Which seemed odd, but the more I got into them, like, they were... And there's a quiz on the website for these books, which includes questions like, you're swimming with friends and see a shark, how do you react? Because there was a book about the shark attacks that happened decades ago. But also, and this one could be inspired by September 11th, I'm just guessing, someone has blown up the top floor of the building you're in. What's your plan? So I was like, oh, these books are really trippy, but wait a second. Young male protagonist, lots and lots of extremely violent death, particularly for books that are meant for 8-year-olds. And just like a lot of really graphic stuff and action right from the start, including a near-death experience on the first page every time. What do these remind me of? Choose your own adventure. So I decided to bring you guys 2 of the trippiest Choose Your Own Adventure books ever written, which is a high bar because some of them got weird. There was one called You Are a Shark, which is basically like a Buddhist exploration of different identities. In one of them you wind up as a pig with enough human awareness to understand you're going to be slaughtered for meat. So weird. And of course there are always good deaths. So many. And reading them as a child I was quite horrified, but for example, like Inside UFO 5440 is the first one I'm reading from. Including deaths like, you follow cautiously. Looking back, you see the wall has formed again behind you. You continue on through the passageway. The light grows brighter. Now you can see clearly. The room is crowded with huge hairy creatures that look like giant purple-headed spiders. Help! The boy screams and turns toward you. In a flash, one of the monsters springs forward. It swallows the boy in one gulp. You scream and turn to run, but you are its next victim. The end. On UFO 5440, what has happened off the top is you've been abducted by aliens and you're in this huge ship, but for some reason you're free to wander its halls and attempt to escape. And typical also of Choose Your Own Adventure books, some of the deaths involve just wasting away from sheer depression. The hours stretch into days, the days stretch into weeks. Now you have waited so long that the computer tells you your chances of surviving hibernation are nearly 0. You can only hope that somehow your crystal ship will reach the new planet before you grow old and die. Or that you will at last find the Aloha. Or that something will happen to fix the ship's hyper-time device. But the months go by and nothing changes. You grow more and more depressed as you sit and wait, and finally, disoriented by the incredible loneliness of outer space, you lose all will to survive. Heavy. They're fun reads for summer camp. But here's the other thing about Inside UFO 5440. There was a happy ending you couldn't reach, except by cheating. Like you had to just flip through the pages until you found it because no decision would lead you there. All of the other things you like make it home to meet to be reunited with your parents, but it's kind of anticlimactic because you've been told of Ultima, which is paradise. No one can choose to visit Ultima, nor can you get here by following directions. It was a miracle you got here, but that is perfectly logical because Ultima is a miracle itself. And also cheat to find happiness. Fun fact, by the way, R.A. Montgomery, who founded Choose Your Own Adventure and wrote most of them, his son now also writes Choose Your Own Adventure. Both of his sons do. And so they are still writing them, but now they have titles like My Grandparents Are Zombies, and Your Very Own Robot Goes Cuckoo Bananas. So a little more lighthearted. I mean, your grandparents are still taking you to the amusement park, but they're just zombies now. So, the other one I want to get into is called Space and Beyond. First page, it starts, you were born on a spaceship traveling between galaxies on a dangerous research mission. The crew of the spaceship includes people from 5 different galaxies. Your parents are not from the same galaxy, but both have features common to those found on the planet Earth in the Milky Way galaxy. Because you have been born in deep space, you must choose the galaxy and planet of your citizenship. The spaceship is traveling at 62 times the speed of light. You've reached the Earth age of 18 years old in just 3 days and 2 hours. Now you must choose the planet Kenda in the galaxy of Pintum, or the planet Croyd in the galaxy of Ufos. The mission commander demands your decision. So none of this slow build and established characters, that's out the gate. Here again, you can waste away from complete depression. One of the endings is, how do you convince people to stop polluting their planet when they've been doing it for so long? Maybe it's a hopeless task. The end. Captain Planet just has a whole different ring after that. So, you can also become a space pirate. What fun to be a pirate. It is a good life, and the treasure box in the spaceship overflows with universe governing body money. But then one day you intercept a radio broadcast. The universe governing body announces that all currency and money are no longer needed or used. A new system for sharing food, clothes, and shelter that doesn't use money has been set in motion. As pirates, you are finished. There is nothing left to steal. The end. Awesome, right? Or you can just become one with space. You can go to a black hole and live with the black hole people. Or get away as fast as you can. Yuck, what a group. It is so comfortable to be in command of your own ship again. In a moment of pure joy at your release from the alien creatures, you overprogram the velocity control, and with a swoosh you accelerate past the VNE, velocity not to exceed, mark. You keep accelerating and there seems to be no end to your speed. Things begin to blur, the outline of the control console becomes indistinct, the lights begin to brighten, and you recognize there is no barrier between you and outer space. You merge into starry emptiness. The end. So, the one that I want to leave on, let's see here. Oh, right, you can also, I have a couple of illustrations for you because the illustrations in Choose Your Own Adventure books were often classic. You fling yourself through the portal, trying to get through fast enough to avoid being in the 2 places at once. But as your legs run forward, your head and shoulders are wrenched behind you. In a whirlpool of time, moving backward and at the same time forward, you are swept into eternity. So your jaunty legs are just heading off to a bright future by themselves, it seems like. But here's the fuel for your nightmares, everyone. You can end up in this place. Okay, the light island appears as a haven for you, and your space pod comes to rest gently in the warm radiance. You leave the space pod and are greeted by a group of 6 creatures that change age and features, transforming from babies to old people. It is more than you can understand. It's more than I can understand. And I'm not 8 years old anymore. It is frightening. It is watching the past become the present and the present turn into the future. It is a kaleidoscope of life, endlessly repeating the cycle of birth and death. You realize that it is beginning to happen to you as well. You look down at your hands and they are small and pink. Baby's hands. Before your very eyes, they grow and change color and texture. A rush of time and experience engulfs you. It is not unpleasant, but you have no control over it. Then, you are horrified to see the wrinkled skin and dark liver spots of old age appear on your hands. And I leave you with the old babies.